What is enlightenment? Enlightenment is the cessation of all suffering. It is the final extinguishing of identification with the ego as who what we are. We release the karma, desires, and inner conflict which our soul brought into this earthly playground to work through. Enlightenment is the great graduation of one's spiritual journey where there is no more clinging to any limitations on any level. There is nothing but God in all directions and dimensions. The God source is our main one relationship that is found everywhere, in every person, every situation and in each thought, feeling, and perceived identification with the ego mind. The enlightened state is our final awakening to live 24/7 in our natural divine intelligence. This is a deeper wisdom that is inherent in every atom in the universe. The connection to this Akashic field spontaneously manifests on its own accord with enough spiritual growth is reached, we just pop. Some say to try to become enlightened or say you are enlightened is a joke, because there is nothing one can do to become enlightened, and nobody to become enlightened since it's a relinquishment of who you think you are. The only thing to do other than be silent and do nothing, is to practice total surrender, the deepest source of your being, and continuously merge with all that is. The great sages all say enlightenment is beyond the Mount Everest peak of spiritual consciousness, which can only be reached after years or lifetimes of being immersed in self-realization. The New Age movement on the planet describes it as living in fifth-dimensional consciousness. I would like to define self-realization as the continuous realization that you are pure consciousness, an infinite eternal spiritual being that is connected with the infinite intelligence found in all beings throughout the universe. Within this spiritual awakening is the understanding, feeling and knowing that nobody was ever born and thus nobody will ever die. In the self-realized state, the small demanding egoic self lets go of it all, and dissolves into the greater cosmic God Source self. Before one is fully enlightened, consciousness will fall back into identification with the mind ego many times. This is like a spiritual litmus test, which also builds spiritual strength for the final and full release of the ego.